keeps on falling.
Welcome to Why Can't We Be Famous? We are your expert singers.
Okay. Well, for this episode, we're bringing each other
We're bringing some stuff to the table.
5 things that we do not know about each other.
Oh, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, ... Probably. I think, I know maybe I'm going to shock you on a couple.
I'm going for shock and awe. I want you to question whether or not we can still be friends.
I want you to wonder if we've ever even hung out before because you didn't know anything about me.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
we shall see. I was thinking about this, though, earlier on the way over here. What could you find out about me that would cause you to not be friends with me anymore? Is there something that you'd be like, ooh, that would change things? I don't know about that.
Yes, I already have an answer. I think if I found out you murdered someone, I would be concerned. I don't know that there's anything I could find out that was really bad that would make me be like, I don't think I could talk to you anymore.
If you betrayed me in some way.
And then I'm like, but what would that even
I
be?
don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out, won't we? Or we won't. For everyone listening, or maybe this is your first time tuning in, I am Holly Feltz.
And I'm Sallie Dale.
And we are friends.
We are friends. And this is the podcast where we talk to each other and have fun. And hopefully you feel like you're out to coffee or lunch or bevies.
Oh, bevies. We hope you grab your favorite bevy and
you're with
sip
some
on
friends.
it and then spit it out because you're laughing so hard at me. Good time.
Some backstory. I feel like I need to clarify the word bevy.
Yes,
so that
please
people
do.
know we do not actually say that.
Please clarify.
Holly and I were out to dessert a couple months ago
In the middle of the day.
Getting a slice of pie. And there was on the table at the restaurant we were at, they had a list of beverages, but it actually said bevies.
It said specialty bevies. And we're like, should we get bevies? And now it's stuck and now you're in on the joke.
You can't not say the word bevies
without
bevies.
Bevies.
Yeah. And I think, do they really not have room for the entire word beverages?
I think they were trying to be like,
they're trying to start something
cute. Like, hey, let's put bevies. I think it'll be
but
good.
Is that something that people say? Is that, like, I found out a few years ago that shook was something that people were saying. And I could not believe that people were actually saying the word shook. And now I use it ironically.
This almost sounds like I'm sitting down to a podcast with my mother. Brief story. My mother was over last night and she was telling me a story and she said, and then she said that I ghosted her. I didn't even know what that meant. She said, I thought ghosting was like I was creeping or spying on you. And I just was laughing because the only other term that I've heard my mother have such this like revolutionary discovery about was bougie.
Yeah.
And
What did she call it?
She did bougie.
Bougie.
She said, what is bougie? I keep seeing people saying that. Holly, what does that mean? And so now she was like, I thought, is ghosting like bougie? I don't know. I don't know what all these words mean. So I'm shook that you didn't know about all these terms. But
now bevies, yeah. Anyway.
Bevies.
I
Anyways.
just need everyone to know that bevies is not a word that I use. Actually, I use it ironically. And there's a distinction, and I want everyone to know that.
Well, we have cleared it.
I am so much better than someone who
says
actually
bevies.
use the word bevies.
We're getting out of hand. We're just getting started.
All right, yeah. All right, 5 things that we don't know about each other.
Okay.
You want to go first?
You go first.
Okay. I had braces. That's not the thing.
Wow. You're the only person.
It caused TMJ. Do you know what that is? I have a jaw problem. My jaw clicks. I used to be able to do jingle bells with my jaw. Like I could make it pop.
Hold on.
Do you hear that?
Do you hear mine?
Yeah, it's TMJ. You have it.
What?
My jaw will lock open if I yawn, like open my mouth really wide when I yawn. Occasionally, it will open, like lock.
This is from braces?
Yes, from a jaw correction. And my jaw locking open is maybe my number one fear. When it happens, it's like a brief second. It is terrifying to me. It's awful. I do not like yawning because every time I go, is this gonna be the time my jaw locks? I don't know. It's really scary. Because I don't know what I would do. I envision that they'd have to break my jaw to get it to close. Yeah. I can't eat apples the traditional way because again, my jaw will lock. Okay. And it's scary, and it's a fear that I have to live with every day of my life.
I did not know when we sat down to tell each other 5 things we didn't know that you were going to tell me something about myself. I was going
to diagnose.
Because I also had braces, and around that time, my jaw, Did you
have rubber bands?
Yes.
There you go. It is a side effect of braces. I know a lot of people.
Shook. I'm shook.
A lot of people. I had a retainer that I had to wear.
Yeah.
That helped with it, and then I threw it away. Sometime in 10th grade, I lost my
orthodontists we went to. Were they trash? What happened? They're just messing up our jaws?
I think that your jaw is created to be a certain way, and even though
told me it wasn't.
Straight teeth are cosmetically pleasing, it's kind of like maybe you shouldn't be messing with the way.
Truly, since I've been a teenager, when I chew, my jaw clicks.
Yeah.
And I just thought I had to live with this, and I was the only one.
I can only chew on this side. If I chew on my left side, it makes my jaw. And gum, can hardly chew gum. But the main thing you didn't know is that it locks open, and one time it stuck for maybe a second, full second.
That gives me chills.
Ooh, and it really scared me. I was really messed up.
Well, let's not be so scared anymore. Well, I don't know. You might be a little scared by this.
It's a legitimate fear.
My next one is also scary, but not in the way that maybe gives you chills, but maybe in the way that makes you go, why?
Okay.
So, nicknames are a popular thing.
Yes.
In life. People love to give nicknames, Well, my grandmother had a nickname for me. And I didn't know that I had this nickname. I think that's the thing with nicknames is that normally you're aware of them and maybe you answer to them. After my grandma had passed away, we were doing the classic thing, going through all of her photos and all of the belongings, trying to separate everything out. And we found an old tub of photos, and there was my beautiful childhood photo. And when you turned it over, it said Holly, a.k.a. Angel Puss. Now, I did not know that this was one of my nicknames. But apparently, even my own mother was like, what the heck is Angel Puss?
If you have a nickname you're unaware of, it's probably not a good nickname.
Can I be AKA if I'm not also known as?
Old Angel Puss. Puss is just a word we shouldn't say.
I don't want to say it anymore.
My papa had a cat named Pussums.
Oh.
And I
don't like it.
And in today's world, I feel
uncomfortable.
I feel uncomfortable
disturbed.
Saying that. A little disturbed.
Well,
different times.
So yeah, that's
I'm going to go into my phone right now and change your contact.
Just call me AP.
From Holly.
It feels better.
To Angel Puss.
Also known as. Okay. Hit me with your second shocker.
Number 2.
Okay.
Growing up.
Okay.
Garth Brooks.
Okay.
Was my neighbor.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Did you guys have dinner together?
No, never met him. We had adjoining.
What kind of neighbor were you?
We had adjoining property. He moved in wherever we were. He moved in shortly after, and they high fenced the whole property line, and you couldn't see his house. I mean, he had hundreds of acres, but I will say he has moved, and we moved since then. My parents don't live there anymore. There is a chance that we did go underneath his fence one time.
What?
And
on
walk
purpose?
Through the woods on purpose
to try to get a look-see?
To look for deer. No, just to traipse through the forest.
I thought you were trying to see like what Garth and Trish were up
to.
No,
but one time, my mom, we had this we had land, so we had this little golf cart thing we drive around. And my house was on a hill, and then it's the forest.
Yeah.
So we're up on top of the hill looking up through the trees, and my mom goes, what is all of that blue stuff? What is Garth doing? And I go, Mom, You mean the sky that you can see through the trees? And she saw sky through the trees and didn't realize it was the sky. And she thought that Garth was like building some.
Oh, Garth. He's just building us a sky.
And also one time he and maybe Trisha were at Williams Sonoma and my mom was there and she walked up to him and said, "I'm your neighbor." And she said it was the most awkward interaction.
I think that would be awkward.
Oh my gosh, Garth Brooks, I'm your neighbor.
I promise I am. I'm good for it.
So if I ever meet him, I will say, remember when you lived there? And I don't even know how often he was there. I don't know where the entrance to his property was.
I think that if I ever run into Garth, because we do live in Oklahoma, I'm going to say, "Garth, it's me. I'm Angel Puss. I am friends with your old neighbor." And I'm going to say it like that.
Yes.
And see what he thinks.
I know.
I think he'll feel safe.
I think so too.
Okay, my second one.
Okay.
I know that you don't know this.
Okay.
I know that you don't. My photo, and not one that I've taken, because I am a photographer, not that. It was my face. I have been up in Times Square in New York City. In the big city. The Big Apple. I've been up in it on New Year's.
Model. Were you in Times Square on New Year's?
I was not.
Okay.
So, this is the most anticlimactic way to be
I was going to ask
screen.
You which glasses you had.
Oh, man. No, my sister and husband actually went years ago. I think that there's a photo of it on Facebook. Maybe I can pull it out.
Okay.
And they were in Times Square and they were texting and had said, if you text this number, they're putting random photos up on the like big screen.
That's risky.
And so I was watching, she was a nanny at the time, and I was watching the two girls. And so I snapped a photo of us, and I had braces at the time. Speaking of braces.
You were getting TMJ as
I live and breathe. And boom, my photo went up. And
did your sister take a photo of it?
Yes, she did.
Wow.
So I don't know if you knew who you were dealing with here.
So somebody saw your photo and they said, "Get me that girl.
Get me her." Yes, and
I need her for a movie I'm casting.
Is that Angel?
Is that
Angel Puss? Is that her? So yeah,
I like that would be your stage name, Lady Gaga, Angel Puss.
You know, she's elite. Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's move along.
An A-list celebrity for sure. Angel Puss.
All right.
Okay, mine. I don't know why all of mine have to do with teeth.
Garth Brooks? No.
I still have a baby tooth.
Where?
People don't believe it.
People don't believe it.
It is this one right here.
Oh, wow. What's
See
it doing there?
Smaller.
How old are you really? Are you like Benjamin Button?
It's hereditary. My granny, I think her eye tooth, hers was a baby tooth.
Wow.
For all of her life. I think she maybe in the last few years of her life got it replaced. And my mom has either 2 or 3 baby teeth.
Wild.
And I have 1.
Well.
Yeah, so there's a chance that my children there's a chance that my children will also have baby teeth. But I can't, because a couple of people asked me, "Well, why didn't you pull it?" Because I have to, when it goes, I'll have to get an implant. And it's not
have to have cosmetic dental surgery.
It's not so noticeable, but I would have a hole in my mouth. And I'm missing teeth is just not something I want to deal with just yet.
If you ever get to the point that you are missing teeth, that's when you need to find Garth Brooks and tell him that you were his neighbor.
I'm your neighbor, Garth.
All right. Me. Listen, I don't want to be judged.
Well,
I don't want to be judged.
Talking to the wrong person.
I don't want to be judged for what I did in the past. I want it to be behind me. And though we may discuss it, I don't want to be known for it. All right?
Is this going to be gross? Do we need to give people a disclaimer?
Do we need to put a trigger warning is what I need to know. So unfortunately, as a teenager, I thought it was really cool because my best friend at the time did this as well. I went over to stay the night at her house and I said, "What's that?" She said, "Oh, that's my gum pile." And I said, "Your what?" And she said, "That's my gum pile. It's Kyle, the gum pile." And it was an arch of stacked gum on her bed, collected from friends and herself. And it started because she didn't want to get up and throw her gum away. So she just
swallow it.
She just stuck it on her bedpost. And so as a teenager, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to start one too. So, on my very nice bed furniture that my parents had so kindly purchased for me, I started my own gum pile and named him Lyle, who is the known cousin to Kyle, the gum pile. And we stacked all across the arch of my bed. And friends would come over and they'd be like, ooh, that's gross. I'm going to add my gum to it. And then it was just a thing. And I had that until the day that I got married and moved out. I had to throw that away. And I was disgusted at that point. I was like, this is very gross.
So like the equivalent of the underside of a table at a bowling alley.
Or
is what you had in your own
the very
home.
popular attraction in Seattle, the gum wall, where you go stick your gum on it.
Disgusting.
Maybe I belong up north.
I hope that this pandemic has opened our eyes.
If anything,
that sticking gum anywhere except the trash can is disgusting.
I agree. That's why I said I don't want to be. I'm not. I don't claim to still do this. This doesn't fly in my house now. I'm a mother, for God's sake. But I did do it, and it's gross, but it's my story.
It is really gross.
I know.
Did
sorry.
Micah know this when you married him?
Micah knew because it was his sister who did it originally. So I was,
But
I married my best friend's brother.
Did he know that you did that?
Oh, I'm sure. Because we had that like friendship before we liked each other.
That would raise some red flags for me.
Yeah.
I'd be thinking, what else is she okay with?
Yeah, but maybe there was red flags for him. I don't know. But here we are. We have a child together, so didn't steer him too far.
Oh my gosh. Okay. My number 4. I was the editor-in-chief of a magazine about horses from mostly 6th and 7th grade. It was called Horsin' Around Magazine.
Okay.
And the tagline was, we aren't horsing around. We are, but we aren't.
You may think we are.
It was a full-on magazine. I sold subscriptions. I had a friend who was she was an editor. I was the editor-in-chief.
It's a very serious business.
I gave her lists of things that she could write about. And my mom bought hundreds of dollars in printer ink.
Aww.
And it was a weekly issue.
Who received this issue?
Family members.
Oh wow, you had supporters from
a couple
the start.
People, like friends, family friends, but we couldn't we couldn't afford to buy stock photos, so all of them had like the Corbis watermark on all of our photos. And then when I got a little better, I would take photos and put them in the magazine. But
wow,
it was really my first venture as an entrepreneur.
This was really your heart and soul.
It was. But on the flip side, I am very thankful that my mom spent probably hundreds of dollars.
Oh, for sure.
In shipping and envelopes and ink and photo paper, because sometimes some of the issues were printed on photo paper.
Oh, good. That's really cheap, so it's fine.
Super really
easy to come by.
Full page color. And I'm so glad that she, nurtured that creative gift in me. But I have at home, I have a file of all of my issues.
Oh, that's amazing.
And they're very colorful, the design. And all of it was created in AppleWorks.
Oh, wow. You were serious in business.
I was serious. Yeah.
I mean, you had software.
So I didn't have Photoshop, but our computer came with AppleWorks 6. And I knew how to do a layout.
Well,
I tell you what.
I just didn't know who I was in the midst of.
Yeah.
Didn't know who I was working with.
To the point that we started receiving mail from companies for Horsin' Around Magazine. Like somewhere out there, some company thought, this is a real publication.
Put them on our mailing list.
And I don't even know how, because there was no web presence.
Who knows?
I did have, I just thought of an honorable mention, but never mind.
Oh, you're going to tuck it away for later?
I'll tuck it away for afterwards.
All right.
After we get through I've got another one.
Okay. Here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm not known to be a violent person. Apparently, unless you're not going to do what I want you to do, then I'm going to rough you up a little bit. So, growing up, I mean, I have an older sister now. She's 9 years older than me. So growing up, we lived together for a very short period of time because by the time I'm coming into my teenage years, I mean, she was moved out and was getting married and such. So while we still had our close time together at home, after school hours was normally just that small window of where we were home alone together. She was in charge of me, or so it was said. Who was really in charge? I don't know. And there was one day that my sister was home, and I feel like she always used to watch the classic after school shows like Oprah and all those things that came on afterwards.
Dr. Phil?
Yes, we've got a big Dr. Phil fan here.
Yeah, I'm a fanatic.
And so, yeah, all of those that to I think I was probably like 9 years old, a 9-year-old are just boring.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely not. Give me SpongeBob or give me nothing was that phase that I was in. And so I walked into the room and I said, change the channel. She said, no, I'm watching this. Like, I'm not changing it. You just got here. And I was like, I don't want to watch this. Change the channel. And I remember just walking steps closer towards her and just saying, like, I said to change the channel. And she just, I think, started ignoring me. And I just walked up and I decked her in the eye. And I gave her a black eye and I was grounded for it and I was in lots of trouble. But I was like, I said change the channel.
My question is, did the channel get changed after you punched her?
Unfortunately, I do not remember because I'm sure that it caused an uproar.
What happens after you punch your sister?
I think I blacked out. No.
You went into a blackout rage.
I
don't remember anything.
Someone had to pull me off her. I mean, I was just going to town. No, I just remember her calling my parents. And I mean, I can't remember. I feel like my dad was either getting home or had just gotten home. So the timing was poor on my end because then I was in trouble. But I just still think it's funny to think back that she had to go to her senior year of high school with a black eye
from her little sister.
I'm like, what a punk. So yeah, if I tell you to do something,
you better do it.
You better do it.
Dang. Oh, okay. My fifth one. Doctors have not been able to diagnose this. Also, I haven't been to a doctor for this, but I have asked. But
I know they can't do it.
I have asked a friend who is a doctor.
Okay.
When I am angry or frustrated, I fall into an uncontrollable sneezing fit.
I think this is ridiculous. Never have I ever.
I cannot stop sneezing. I'm telling you, it's undiagnosed. If this is you, anyone listening,
we need to know.
Anyone under the sound of my voice. If this is an issue that you also have.
Are you a pastor's kid?
Yes. Please leave a comment and let us know. Let me know that I'm not alone.
I have to know.
I don't know that I have never heard of anyone having this issue.
Okay, so break it down.
It doesn't happen when, like, if I'm fighting with Andrew.
Okay, thank God, because how much would you be sneezing? Just kidding.
The other day, I was driving to Sprouts, and I had the local radio on, and there's your first mistake. Yeah. There is a specific newscaster on our local radio.
Gets you in a tizzy.
Ugh. I don't think he wants to live in Tulsa. He just wants to live here and be mad about
Now, don't cause
Tulsa.
someone to go into a sneezing fit listening to this.
So he was on some show and he said something and he was just being a little
booger.
Contrarian. And I started sneezing uncontrollably. I was so mad to the point where that radio station has an app that I have because they have like a weather radar and all of that. It has an open mic feature where you can like call in and leave a message.
Don't tell me that you did it.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't.
The guy,
he was on so unpatient. Someone's going to call in now.
The show was an Ask the Experts show, and he was quite literally disagreeing with the expert. He was just being.
This was recent.
Yeah, like a month ago, and I said something like, "I'm glad that expert." Really got it.
What are you going to be like when you're 70?
I'll tell you what. I told Andrew and he agreed with me because he said the other day that he had to turn the radio off because this guy
that was a better solution.
Well, he said he didn't have his iPhone with him. He said he was about to leave an open mic too.
Oh,
I don't do that on anything else, but newscaster can just put me to sneezing.
Send me to sneezing.
And it's like controversial issues or just things that will get me riled up. I cannot stop.
If this podcast does anything, I want it to connect you to your fellow sneeze fitter. That's what I want it to do.
Do you know what I think it is, though? I think that it is God's way of telling me to calm down.
Yeah.
Because I can feel it before I start sneezing, and
it's just like, stop.
And I can go, okay, I got to stop talking about this, or I've got to stop thinking about this. I've got to reroute myself.
Get it back together.
Pull it back together.
Rein it in.
Lock so that I stop sneezing.
Wow.
If someone has wronged me,
ooh,
I'll sneeze. Immediate sneezing.
Immediate sneezing.
Right to sneezing. So, anyway.
Oh, wow. My fifth one is everything that I'm sharing. I'm like, this is not who I am anymore.
You need everyone to know that you've changed.
I've changed. I've lived a little bit longer and I've gained a little bit more insight. Okay. So here is my fifth thing that you might not know about me. So, growing up, it's easy to be dependent on your parents for most things.
Yes.
Okay. Especially going to the doctor or making those appointments, just handling all of the very adult things like insurance and
who knows what's going on with insurance. I don't even know.
Not me. No, I promise, not me. So this was my first time going to the doctor without my mother. And I was in high school, and I had to have been 16 at least because I was driving. And I took Micah's sister with me. She was my best friend.
how you do. To your doctor's appointment.
Please come with me because I'm scared to go by myself. Okay, my mom's not with me.
What kind of appointment was it?
It was just like I had to have physicals. I played sports in high school, so you always had to have a physical leading into the new year, whatever. So I was just going for a physical. And so I had her go with me. So we're going into the doctor's office, and I was like, okay, this is it, man. Like, mom's not here. Go up to the counter and just like be confident. Fill out the paperwork. You know your address. You know your phone number. You've been practicing this since kindergarten. So filling out all the things. And she's like, has your insurance changed? I was like, well, gosh, now that you mention it, yeah, we just got new cards in yesterday. She was like, oh, well, I'm going to need that. I was like, okay, well, I got to go grab it. So I'll be right back. So I tell April, I'm like, come on, we got to go back. I left the insurance down in the car. She was like, okay. So we're going back, not thinking anything of it. And I'm, in my car digging for the insurance. And I'd say to April, I'm like, it's just really bizarre that they want my car insurance at the doctor. Don't you think? Isn't that weird? I go back to looking, and she's so kindly and gently says, I think they mean your medical insurance. I don't think they want your car insurance. And I said, oh, I think you're right.
Oh my gosh.
And so we close the car doors, go back upstairs, and I say, never mind. And she's like, well, what do you mean? You said your insurance changed. And I said, no, it's still the same. It's fine. And so go through the appointment like normal. And then later that evening, I tell my mom what happened because she wants to know, did everything go okay? And I tell her, not thinking that her best friend was a nurse in the office who also shared the story with the entire office.
Oh my gosh.
So then when I went back...
that's a breach of patient confidentiality.
HIPAA. Hello. So when I went back, they casually threw it in at the end of my check-in. By the way, we don't need your car insurance.
Oh, gosh.
And I just remember feeling so red, like, I know you don't. And so, yeah.
That is so... I wish so badly that you were by yourself and that you brought your car insurance back into the receptionist.
I had it in hand. I can remember seeing it in my hand and her, April, just saying... I think they want your medical insurance. Man. I don't think they want your car insurance.
to see that.
But we all got to grow up at some point, and
Oh
that was
my
when I
gosh.
grew up. If anyone
learned
ever
some
asks,
things.
when do you remember letting go of your childhood and becoming an adult? It's when I thought that I had to bring my car insurance, and then I realized I didn't.
And you already feel stupid at the doctor's office anyway.
For sure. Yeah.
You don't.
Absolutely.
You don't need another
I didn't
thing
need
to
a
make
boost.
you. Yeah.
I didn't need a boost. Okay. So,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh. I thought of one while I was talking, an honorable mention.
Oh, a bonus.
A bonus.
Okay.
So when I was 11, my brother, this is right around the blog spot boom.
I had a blog spot.
So did I.
We should try to find our blog
Oh,
spots.
I'll find it right now. My brother started a blog with some friends, and it was called like The Big Crit. And
what?
The Big Crit, like critic. And they
Okay.
reviewed movies.
The Big Crit.
Big Crit.
We're neighbors with Garth Brooks. You can
And
trust
so
us.
I, being 11,
Oh, did you?
I started one too. You know what? I think I have told
You were in
this.
competition with them.
Yeah, and it was called The Big Duchess. I
Oh,
don't
no.
know why.
Oh, no.
The Big Duchess. Oh, here it is. Okay, guys, if you go to
Oh, wow.
www.thebigduchess.com, I have some reviews from 2004. One, Why I Did This.
Oh, wow.
Another one, Monsters, Inc. DVD.
Oh, so you reviewed You reviewed Pixar.
I reviewed Pixar.
Wow. You just
And I
went
don't
for it.
remember the Monsters, Inc. DVD at all, but it has 7 comments. Most are about if I'm interested in $500 gift card to Abercrombie and Fitch.
Oh, wow.
Or porn. Those are the comments on my blog. But this one,
Wow.
the Monsters Inc. DVD. Hi. Okay, this past week I was watching the special features on the Monsters Inc. DVD. It has about 100 different things you can do, and not all of them are games. You can watch the original storyboard or see the original Mike and Sully. They made a complete handbook for you to read if you were going to work in Monsters Inc. I got to tour the Pixar studio and all the creative offices. One was completely toys, and if I ever have a job like that, my office would also be made up of toys. So in the end, I give the special features of Monsters Inc. a 9 out of 10.
Oh, you didn't even give it a 10 out of 10.
I don't know why.
Well, you don't want to just generously give those out. I mean, your reviews are everything.
Oh, here's one. This was my other review. The only other review I did is about Dora the Explorer.
Wow.
My first review. Okay, this was June. I had just turned 11, I think. My first review will be on the TV show Dora the Explorer. I don't watch this show. First thing
Terrible reviewer.
just first thing when you review something is you want no frame of reference.
You don't want to have a clue what you're talking
you
about.
want no skin in the game. But my niece does. I watched it with her, and it is okay, I think. Hey, just hey. Hey. It teaches her Spanish and how to follow a map. In fact, the other day she said delicious in Spanish. She is nearly 2.
Hey, it's really hard to say delicioso.
And I think that is pretty impressive. So in the end, I don't really recommend Dora for children over 7 at least. That is, unless you watch with a little kid to keep them entertained.
Oh, wow.
Dora, 8 out of 10.
You still gave her a pretty high rating.
I did, considering. But yeah, that is my blog, and it is still up. And I had another blog in high school called Punctuality Princess, and
You've got too many blogs.
I have a lot of blogs.
I also
and
started a lot
that
of
one was
blogs.
actually, well, it was the thing to do.
It was. Well,
So, but anyway,
I have most certainly learned some things about you.
yeah.
So,
Can we still be friends?
I think that we can. I think we can keep this going.
I think there's more. I think there's some more to explore there.
I think there-
some depths to be
Was
mined.
that a Dora reference?
Maybe.
Okay, we'll revisit.
Well,
We'll revisit your reviews.
if anything, I just know not to cross you.
Exactly. And now everyone else does
We know
too.
who the dominant friend is.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Oh man.
Oh, this
All
has
right.
been fun.
Before we wrap up, Holly,
Ooh.
What are you going to do this week to be intentional? An intentional friend.
Oh, yeah.
What are you going to do for me this week?
What am I going to do? I mean, maybe it's for someone else. Maybe it's not for you.
I am your only friend.
Don't tell. Man, this is difficult to think about. Not because I don't have friends, because I'm like, maybe I need to sit down and think maybe I just need to, you know what? I have a friend who I have not seen
Since last year?
since, you would not believe it. I haven't seen them since last year. No, I really haven't seen them since last year.
Like 2021 or 2020?
Probably
Because when I say last year, I'm still thinking 2020. It's
Well,
early
it's
enough in the
2022.
year.
That was
I
2
know.
years ago.
I
so-
know. In my head, 2018 was just the other
No,
day.
I have it's one of those friends that you text back and forth with and you say, we'll get together sometime. Let's get together sometime. So I just need to send her a text and actually
And say we'll get
set a
together
date.
sometime.
And really, I just need to go and see her.
Yeah.
So it just takes doing it. And I think sometimes it's difficult in friendships to always feel like you're the one reaching out. Or
Yeah.
feel like you're like, oh, I feel like I reach out to a lot of people. But I think you just, sometimes it's your turn to be the friend.
Okay.
And so I'm going to be the friend. I'm going to reach out, make it happen.
I have a friend who loves baking.
Is it me?
That's not you. However, I was going to ask you, do you have any sourdough starter that you can spare? Because this friend, I thought, I bet you Holly has some and I could give it to that friend.
For a pretty penny. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I have some.
Okay. Because I thought she would probably really, like, I asked her the other day, she got a bread machine and I asked her if she had done sourdough and she said it was intimidating. And I said, I don't know anything about it, but my friend Holly has a starter.
I do.
And I bet you she would share.
The rumors are true.
Yeah.
I've got a starter.
So
And we're going to start
we're going to start something.
We're going to start it up.
And then I'll have two friends making, well, three, because I have another friend who makes sourdough. So now I have three people that I could potentially be getting bread from all the time.
That's a good place to
So
be.
really, this is about benefiting.
Really,
me.
it's about you. But that's a good place to be in a friendship.
What can my friends make me?
Hey, when it comes to bread, that's not a problem.
No, yeah.
I want all the bread. So thank you guys for listening in.
Like and subscribe.
We hope that you
Rate and
enjoyed
review.
yourself. Tell us all the positive things.
And also go follow us on social media. We also have an email list that you can sign up for.
Oh, it's fun.
It is, you guys just won't even believe how fun it is.
It's like confetti popping every time you open it. It's just a party.
Go sign up for that. You can sign up at Why Can't We Be Friends podcast.com.
.com.
Until next time, see you later.
Bye.